Squishmallow squad, get us underway. Oh, strong header from Maui, straight to Boyle on the wing. Here comes Gordon. It's a goal!
The Squishmallow squad are now in Happy Meal. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 3rd of August from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Squishmallows range comprises toys only. While stocks last. Fair ordering policy applies.
You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and this week, listeners, it's that time again. No, not 3 p.m. I mean, it might be 3 p.m. Is it 3 p.m? Hang on, let me find a clock. No, try again. Now it's 3 p.m. You're welcome. Shush you, it can be a nighttime 3 p.m. sometimes, okay? But the real time that it is again is, what is it, Linda? Can you guess, Linda? Linda? Yes, that's right, listeners. It's time to check the Radio Nonsense mailbag. And this week, all of you have some ideas of where Linda is, which is good because I've no idea where she is or indeed who she is. But Turtle Kingdom in Australia says, the entire bloodline of royal turtles. We have extracted Linda from the secret society of people called Linda kidnappers, and she shall be returned. Wow. Thanks, the entire bloodline of royal turtles. I'm honoured that you have once again contacted the podcast. And hang on, the secret society of what? And if they're that secret, how do you know about them, oh royal turtlesness? And where exactly are you returning Linda to? I hope it's here, because I really need a coffee. Look, I'm being very ungrateful, aren't I? I should say thank you for saving Linda from the Linda kidnappers, but I'll save that when I know you're returning her to here, and if you are actually just returning her to back to the Turtle Kingdom, then you're basically Linda kidnappers in a half shell, which is pretty much the same. So, well, we'll wait and see. Your secret boss says, hang on, my secret boss? Who's my secret boss? I suppose it's a secret. But most importantly, when do I get paid? Or is that a secret as well? Is it soon? I really hope it's soon. Anyway, my secret boss in Australia says, Linda is here. Linda has been in the Comedy Club for Kids closet the whole time. Linda is your smartphone friend. Well, secret boss, it can't be that secret as you've sent a message and you've told me that you exist. Anyway, let me check if you are right. Nope, no Linda in the closet, just a small farting gecko who's somehow escaped. Let me check my smartphone. Linda, can you make me a coffee, Linda?
Sorry, I don't understand your request.
Are you sure that's Linda, secret boss? If it is, how do I get her out of the phone so she'll actually make me a coffee? Linda, can you jump out of the phone, please, so I can check you're the right Linda?
Sorry, I don't understand your request.
Oh, drats and also triple drats. It's very annoying. And carrots 92B, which is, in my opinion, the best type of carrots. I think they're the carrots you have to use if you want to draw a thicker, tougher line in your carrot drawings. Anyway, they say, hello, I love your show. I have found Linda and she is now in your bathroom reading a newspaper from 2038. Bye. Firstly, thanks so much for listening to the show, carrots, and I'm so glad you love it. And secondly, what? Linda's in my bathroom reading a newspaper from the future, so I could then read it after her and tell people predictions that all come true and become super rich. Wow, I'm going to check this right now. Hello, is someone in there? It's locked. Hello? They finished, and I'm in. And there's no Linda. There's a bit of a horrible smell. And there are scraps of newspaper because we've run out of toilet roll. Oh dear, whoops. What does this scrap say? The Daily Parps, June 23rd, 2038. Headline, watch out for all the... And then it's been ripped and I guess used for wiping. Oh dear, well I guess I'll never know now. And Gooper Gup Gup in the UK says, do, I have taken your oranges and turned them the colour orange. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, what? My oranges? No! Let me check my fruit bowl right away. This can't be true. No! Listeners, all my oranges, they're all orange. What did I do to deserve that? What am I going to do now? Well, first, let me tell you all that if you want to send in a message or a question that needs to be answered or anything else at all, then please get your nearest doddering blunderbuss, grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Or you can leave a reply on any episodes at the Spotify Q&A or a nice review on Apple Podcasts or Castbox. Now I just need to check. Maybe it's just the outside of the orange that's gone orange and the inside of these oranges might be the proper colours that they should be. No, it's also orange inside. Unbelievable. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to sit here and paint them all into their original colours so it's safe for me to eat them again. While I do that, you had better listen to this most importantest bit. With me today on Radio Nonsense, oh yes, it is the brilliant Sheila Kanani, who all of you listeners will know for having the world's fastest time for not doing a marathon. Sheila, it is so nice to have you on the show today. It's an honour to have you here. How's things?
Well, my marathon running is going pretty well, as you've just told me. Things are going all right, apart from the fact that obviously the moon has been made of cheese and it has been outed recently by the Artemis 2 mission.
I'm really sorry. It's been quite I was going to say a devastating week, but the marathon thing. There was a big thing, London Marathon. It's been run under 2 hours. You successfully didn't run a marathon in. I think it was about 1 second, wasn't it? You didn't run one, which is world breaking.
Too good, and it took a lot of preparation, a lot of mental thought processes went into it, and obviously I had to eat a huge amount of pasta to be able to do it in that time.
It was remarkable, and I appreciate that it must be hard when you've achieved something like that on one level, and on the other hand, you've discovered the moon is made of cheese, which is not what. Am I right in thinking you thought it was a combination? Was it cheese and crackers, or you had a different?
I actually thought it was made by aliens.
Right.
Those Martians that live in Venus, they give off all kinds of gases, and I thought that what happens was the Martians that live on Venus, the gases that they were giving off were actually conglomerating into a globule in space, and that's what we were seeing to be the moon. So nothing to do with food at all. And I love food. I hate cheese, particularly the green blue stinky cheese, but even so, I'm still absolutely devastated.
Well, I'm really sorry. I have to say, and I know that you're very aware of this far more than I, but you say it's nothing to do with food, but I presume those aliens on Venus will have had to eat something to create a gas cloud quite as powerful as the moon, especially during a full moon when they've clearly eaten so much.
Yeah, of course, it's Jaffa cakes. They live off Jaffa cakes. They love... Are they a cake? Are they a biscuit? I don't really know, but the Martians that live on Venus absolutely love the jelly center. Instead of picking off the chocolate and then just eating the jelly, they use their Venus powers to bring the jelly out of the biscuit or the cake, and they suck it in through their nose. That's
really horrible.
Who are we to judge?
Yes, that's true. You're right. Sorry, what an awful speciesist thing I said there, because you're right in that to them, that's natural. They'd probably look at us eating food with our mouths and be sick out of their eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is pretty gross the way we eat, if you think about it. And then it, goes in one hole, comes out the other, whereas they just have one hole. And that everything goes in there, everything goes out of there. It's just functional, whereas we have too many holes, probably.
Yeah, that is true, actually. You think, I like the way they're quite economical, just one for everything to go in and out. And then it probably makes it a lot easier for... Do like as humans, sometimes we wear clothes and then to go to the toilet is really difficult. Like if people wear jumpsuits or
Oh, hate a
those sort of
jumpsuit.
things, you have to take off the whole thing to go to the loo. Whereas these aliens, they can wear whatever they like because they've just got the one hole for eating and farting.
And you know, the farting has given us the moon. So there we go. What better than a moon made of fart, basically?
It is pretty. It must make you think because these aliens. The aliens, they live their life. That gives us the moon. The moon controls. Am I right in thinking it controls the tides, but it also controls small yappy dogs and supermarket opening hours, and there's something else as well. I can't remember what it is.
No, it doesn't control the tides. Actually, that's a common misconception as well.
Is it? Right. Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with tides. What it does control is obviously werewolves, because werewolves become werewolves on the full moon. So don't forget about those underestimated species on our planet. Actually, do
you know what? It's something I do quite often. This podcast, because all sorts of people and creatures and everyone listens to it, and I do forget that we do have a werewolf listenership. And the reason I forget is because they only tune in once a month. And it's quite hard to keep track of, compared to the listeners that tune in every week. You know.
Yeah, I suppose so. But if you had a lunar calendar like I do, then rather than going on the sort of boring January, February, March calendar, whatever that's called, and just if you live from full moon to full moon like the werewolves do and like I do, then you know exactly when your podcast is coming out.
That's true. That is true. I mean, Sheila, I'm so glad you're here with these kind of explanations. Why is it? Here's one question for you, actually. Why is it we only get werewolves? Why don't we get were sheep, were chickens, were geckos? Where are they?
Well, they are just wolves in sheep clothing, wolves in gecko clothing.
Right, okay, right.
In we talking about the alien jumpsuits. Werewolves also like to wear clothes.
Right.
Whether they are sheep or geckos. I mean, I'd quite like to dress up as a gecko once a month as well, actually. I think it would be quite fun because then you could climb the walls, which would be quite fun. I wouldn't mind being able to catch things with a tongue that sort of came out of my mouth. And geckos also like Jaffa cakes, by the way.
That's fantastic. That's a great thing. Which does make me. It feels like everything in the universe is linked, whether by some way or another. But I was just thinking about how useful it would be to be a gecko, in that you could have a bag of crisps across the room, and you could sit still and still get them with your tongue, and then still eat the bag of crisps.
It would be if you were a gecko, or if I was a gecko, that would have really enhanced my marathon endeavor, because then I could have carb loaded without even moving. So I would have done my marathon, and it would have not done my marathon in an even shorter time. So geckos for the win.
It would be good, but could be a problem. What if you stuck your gecko tongue out really far, accidentally hit the finish line of the marathon, and then pulled yourself all the way to the end in super speed, and then you accidentally did a marathon even quicker?
Would a tongue be allowed to have done the marathon? Like, does that count?
I don't know.
Because it wouldn't be me doing it, would it? It would be my tongue doing it.
Well, that's the thing, is there's always people in fancy dress doing the marathon. So, sometimes it's like, oh, this jellyfish won the marathon, or this, this robot did it. And I always think, actually, that what people are missing out here, and it's at odds with what you do, because what you do is really special, where you don't do the marathon. But I sometimes think, why doesn't someone dress up as a 26.2 mile long caterpillar, and then they could do the marathon in one step?
Now, if you did not do the marathon, what would you dress up as?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you'd have to do something that goes in reverse, or would it be just still?
Maybe a snail in a gecko's clothing, eating Jaffa cakes while wearing a jumpsuit.
That's quite impressive. I think that would be quite impressive. It would be quite impressive, and then I think you could not do a marathon incredibly fast. Or slow.
Or incredibly slow. Or in reverse. Because then, what if you did a minus 26 miles? Does that count as not doing a marathon?
That's like a negative marathon, which I think is... I don't really know what that does. I don't know if you have to give someone a medal at the end. You have to give someone else a medal, maybe. And yeah,
It would really annoy everyone as well if you were like walking in reverse while everyone else was trying to go forwards. And just like, get out of the way.
if you start it, you'd have to start at the finish line and go backwards.
Yeah.
And you'd get in everyone's way and they'd be livid with you. I think that's we should do an anti-marathon. Next marathon, we should do the anti-marathon that is going backwards from the finish point to the start.
Instead of raising money for charity, we could take money from charity. And what would you buy if you took money from like children in need? What would you buy?
I'd buy something that children like. I'm trying to think of something that children would find really boring, like car parts, or something that they'd just be so a Hoover. Something that children would be livid about.
I'd go to the garden centre.
Yeah, garden centre.
Buy a water hose and maybe some compost.
Yes,
that's what I'd buy.
Yes, broken down poo and vegetables, and it's more manure, isn't it? But compost would be worms and old veg. That's got to be. Children hate. What is it? Why are garden centres so boring? Except they're not. As I say, as a grown up, they're not boring. But if you're a child, they got to be the worst places, right?
Yeah, I think so. Apart from now, I have seen garden centres with toys in, so that's kind of cool. But
okay,
I remember being taken to a garden centre when I was a child and having to like do really boring things like eat ice cream and look at the fish in the aquarium. I used to hate looking at those giant fish because I'm just like, what is the point of fish, really, apart from fish fingers?
Yeah, well, I don't know. The sea's pretty big. You've got to put something in it.
Yeah, it's got loads of salt in. What? It doesn't need anything else.
Is that, you think it's fine just being salt? Salt's quite small. I mean, like you can't really look at salt.
No, because it would sting your eyes. Can you imagine?
Exactly. So it's nice to have fish to look at. I always think the poos that fish do are very funny because they're really long and they go on for ages.
I don't think I've ever seen a fish poo. Why are you watching fish poo?
I'm not observing fish poo. I've just don't get me in trouble with the fish society who'll suddenly write complaints that I'm sitting there watching fish poo. I know that fishes do very strange long poos that based on we have fish, and sometimes the fish will just be pooing for about an hour, which maybe they need more fibre.
I read something. I read something about sloths, and apparently they only poo once a month, but they poo a third of their body weight in that time, that's amazing, isn't it? Kind of mad. What's your favourite animal poo?
Which, I was going to say, obviously wombats poo in cubes, which is everyone's, like, that's got to be great. Imagine having Lego poo. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You could build a castle out of it. Definitely. I do like that. But we were, I haven't researched this. But we saw olms recently. Olms are like they're called like baby dragons, but they're like little salamanders and they're blind. Okay. And what I didn't look up is they only have to eat once every 7 years. But then nowhere did it tell you how often they have to poo.
Well, then they'd be really, really rubbish at not doing a marathon if they only eat once every 7 years.
Their hearts beat only twice a minute. And so they... Well, you say they'd be rubbish at not doing it. Wouldn't they be brilliant at not doing a marathon? You worried you've got competition.
I don't want to race an olm in a marathon, in a non-marathon or a marathon, because they sound far too efficient for me. I'm not that efficient.
I mean, I think if you were to dress up as a gecko, then olms would be allowed into the race. And I think the key is that you don't dress up as a gecko, because otherwise it opens the doors to olms. I mean, very slowly opens the door. They won't get to the door in time, but
This is venturing far too far into me actually running a marathon, and that is one thing I will never do.
No, and I respect that. I respect that fully. And why ruin what you're good at as well? Why, Yeah, I fully agree. Listen, Sheila, it's so nice to have you on the podcast, and I really appreciate you having the time, despite obviously the upset at the moon not being made of cheese. I've got a question that I really need your help to answer. But before we get there,
Okay.
I've got two legally binding admin questions from the Comedy Club for Kids Radio Nonsense legal team. How do you feel about a bit of admin? Are you okay with that?
I absolutely love admin. In fact, the admin is the brightest thing of my day. And I get up in the morning and I want to do admin. I don't want to do anything else, particularly not eat or watch TV. I just want to do admin.
Wow. Okay. Well, I feel bad. I've only got two admin questions for you. I feel like I should have written 30.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, if you want to take your time on these, if you want to make each one last 4 or 5 hours, then that's fine. I don't mind. Really get the most admin out of them that you can. But the first one, Sheila, is I'm sure you know, but listeners to this podcast are all ages that you can imagine. Bronze Ages, Middle Ages, Iron Ages, also
Are they
7...
like late 1900s?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and also 7, 8, 9, 403. You know, all those ones as well. I don't know how old Olms can get, but so because it is suitable for all possible ages, I just want to check if there are any rude words you won't be saying on this show, so that we can keep it family friendly.
There is one rude word that I won't be saying because it's not my favorite word in the world. And it's got nothing to do with me and who I am and what I like doing.
Right. Okay.
So I won't say it.
Right. Okay. And what word is that?
It's the word Saturn.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I'm glad you won't say Saturn. We wouldn't say Saturn on this show.
I'm not going to say, yeah. I mean, I call myself Saturn Sheila, but I won't use that word because it's such a bad word.
Yeah. But am I right in thinking that when you call yourself Saturn Sheila, you hope no one actually says that first? Is it just that you hope that there's a noise or a pause instead?
More of a like that.
Yes.
Than Sheila, like that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and often people can't pronounce it anyway because it's so hard to say. So it's kind of good in that respect.
It is true. Sometimes I look at it, I think it could be Saturn, which is possible, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, and also it depends where you're from because, you know, it could be Saturn or it could be Saturn or Saturn.
That's
or Saturn.
True. That's true.
So,
and do you have an issue as well? Because obviously Venus is full of mouth farting aliens. The moon is fart gas. What's that? Sorry, they eat Jaffa cakes. Yes.
Don't forget the Jaffa cakes.
And I was going to say, and what's Saturn as a planet? What's the issue there?
Well, it should have rings, but it doesn't. It's just got this massive slide around it that people go to and just get on, and they think they're going to have the best time because it's like a massive water slide, but actually it's this, like, it just keeps going and you can't get off. And the problem with that is that you know, even if you're busy and you're late for an appointment, you just can't get off this massive water slide at Saturn. So it's a massive problem.
I mean, that is a huge problem, but I dare say there's going to be at least half the listeners who are hoping they get to do that one day.
Well, if you get stuck on this water slide at Saturn, how are you ever going to do any admin or not run a marathon? It makes me quite angry.
It's really weird to not have an end, isn't it? Like, and because also then where does it begin? How do you get on it?
You go in a spaceship, obviously.
Right, okay, then you just sort of fall out the spaceship onto the slide.
Yeah.
And then you just can't, there's no end to the slide, so you have to
Once you're in it, you're in it.
I can see that being a problem. And there'd probably come a point where you just don't really want to be in swim gear anymore, and you're just a bit like, I want a sandwich.
Just too much fun.
Yeah. There's only so many times you can go woo in a day, isn't there? Like, I feel like
and then your skin goes all wrinkly, and it gives you a wedgie because the water power is quite strong, and you know it's too good, and we just don't deserve it.
I get that, and I understand that, and I think for that reason, I fully appreciate that you wouldn't say Saturn on this show, and I wouldn't either, because frankly, hearing you say it and hearing me say it out loud, it makes me feel really ill. It's a horrible word. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for not saying Saturn on the show.
Don't say Saturn again, please.
No, and I definitely wouldn't. Thank you for that, and thank you for respecting our rules. And the second admin question, Sheila, which I hope you'll take as seriously as it needs to be taken. Would you rather have the power to command all of the world's snails, a bit like we were talking about earlier, or just one very large yak?
Definitely snails.
Right, okay.
Yaks are just they yak a bit too much. Snails have snail power. You can tread on them with bare feet by accident and it makes you feel amazing. And if you really want to, you could eat them. So why would you not choose the snails?
So you'd use your power to bring snails to you so that you could eat them?
Only if I was really hungry, because, normally I eat Jaffa cakes and pasta.
Sure. Of course,
so,
yeah.
But,
It feels, yeah. Because I sort of had in my head, if you can command all the world's snails, you could just like slime that car, or you could just get them to do things for you. But I like that you've gone for a really, a really like food-based. No, I'd just direct them to me and then I'd eat them.
I'm always food-based, like my whole life. After admin is food.
Right.
And, snails are just so chewy and so slimy and potentially so garlicky. If you cook them in garlic, then why would you not want to command them to you to eat? And then it means I don't have to do a marathon. I can just sit there, not do a marathon, and my food comes to me.
Yeah, well, also it comes to you so slowly that you'd have to say, I can't do a marathon now, I'm waiting for my food. And you could be waiting for such a long time that the marathon's finished.
The delivery drivers are not going to get any commendations from me anytime soon.
No. It would be so slow. I mean, I suppose in a way, are you assuming then a yak wouldn't be nice to eat?
Well, yak's milk, not sure about that. I think yaks are quite hairy as well, and they also live in the mountains, and I don't really like mountains, so
yeah, you only have one, and so you could just have it in outside. You could just park it like a car.
Yeah, but you could have all the world's snails. Why would you have one of something when you can have all of the other?
Yeah, it's fair. I find yaks inherently funny. I can't tell you why. I just know that, because they're probably not. Like, probably if I was near a yak, I'd be a bit scared because they've got big horns and they're really massive and they're very hairy. But the idea of a yak to me is amazing. I don't know. There's something just... Imagine being called a yak for a start. That's such a great name. It's...
But snails have shells.
They do. They have their own home.
And they speak French.
Oh, do they? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realise snails spoke French. Which, that must make it... Isn't that more awkward then that they're eaten in France?
But, all animals speak different languages and they're all eaten in different countries. So...
That's true. Yeah. But I just sort of imagined them being in the French restaurant very specifically saying, oh, no, not again,
I know, but when I first ate snails, I was in Thailand and they didn't speak Thai.
Oh, I see. So that's, well, that makes sense. There's no communication there. So, yeah, that's tricky. I didn't realize. All right, okay. Poor snails. I suppose the other thing is they'll say it so slowly that by the time they finish, they've already been eaten.
In fact, I mean, they speak French so slowly, it almost sounds like whale song.
Yes.
Rather than French. So it's okay. And I don't speak French anyway. I can only speak Spanish, so it's fine.
Right. Oh, so you're okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can speak a little bit of French, but not very well. So I'd probably... But the speed that snails would speak it would probably be the speed I can understand it. So that might be why I don't eat snails. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's... So you would eat a yak then?
No.
Squishmallow squad, get us underway. Oh, strong header from Maui, straight to Boyle on the wing. Here comes Gordon. It's a goal!
The Squishmallow squad are now in Happy Meal. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 3rd of August from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Squishmallow's range comprises toys only. While stocks last. Fair ordering policy applies.
Hey, it's Bex. Sorry, I'm just interrupting to tell you about the latest episode of a podcast I make called Judge Bex. You know that argument you've been having with your brother for the last 3 weeks? The one that nobody's winning? That one needs a judge. Good news, I've got a law degree, a gavel, and absolutely no patience for nonsense. Take a listen. Here's what happened in the latest episode.
This is Judge Bex. The cases and people are all real. Judge Bex's judgments are final.
He's just jumping on me like boing, 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 boing.
Oh my goodness. I mean, love the sound effects. So talk me through this. Are we saying you might be in bed and he'll run in and open the door and smash it open and jump on you?
Yes. Very much.
The worst time that he's interrupted you by bouncing on you.
I wanted a line at Christmas a couple of years ago, and then he just like ran in like, I'm gonna get you, and then just like jumped on me. And I would like to quit swimming, and my parents, my mum, are saying I cannot. My teacher is really strict, and I think I can do it. And I just don't like the lessons anymore.
Get ready to enter the court of Judge Bex.
If you like that, there's more available right now wherever you're listening to this. Just search Judge Bex.
Oh no, I'm veggie, so I wouldn't eat either. But I would probably choose a yak purely because I'd laugh at it every day, just because it was a yak. Even as people like, why is that yak destroyed my car, my garden? I'd still find it funny because it was a yak. But that's just my personal view of yaks.
And would you milk it? Do you eat milk? Are you vegetarian?
I'm veggie. I'm not vegan. So I probably, yak's milk's pink, isn't it? I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not.
So it's
know
like
that.
strawberry milkshake, right?
Nice. Does it taste like strawberry milk?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Aww.
You'd assume so.
That would be cool.
It would be cool, but I think I fully respect you go for snails, which incidentally do rhyme with whales, so maybe there is a connection. I think that's fair. I think it's a really good choice, and I like how much. I think why not choose the one that's going to bring you the most food? I think that's fair.
And I do think actually maybe whales have evolved from snails, and that whales are just really, really, really big snails without the shell on.
Right. Okay. So which I would controversially say isn't that a slug, but I suppose it's not because it's a whale.
Yeah, it's a whale, not a slug.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Snails and
they like salt, whereas slugs don't like salt.
Yeah, slugs would have an awful time in the sea.
They would hate it.
They would have a really bad time swimming. I wouldn't. If there's any slugs listening, don't do it. Don't have a beach holiday.
No, go to the Lake District instead.
Yes, but
if you're going to swim, swim somewhere.
Lake District, but not like Salt Lake City. Be careful which lake you go for, because that would also be terrible for you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, hard life. Hard life as a slug. Well, thank you, Sheila. Thank you for taking that question very seriously. We've now got through the admin. I'm sorry that's all of it. Did you need more?
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
I would love more, but if you haven't got any more for me, I'll just have to put up with it.
I'm so sorry. I really wish I'd thought it. I wish I'd known. A lot of people don't like admin, and then you feel like 2 questions is too much. I hadn't realised you loved admin so much. I should have just asked you.
You can send me a spreadsheet later, maybe.
I will. Yes, I will. And what I'll do is I'll leave it mostly blank, so you can fill it in. That would be fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
Brilliant.
Thank
Good.
you.
No, thank you. What I do have, though, Sheila, is I do have the question that's been sent in that I need your help to answer. And this has been sent in by someone called Razor Fan. So I guess they're a fan of razors, I guess, which is why not? Good for shaving. And maybe they're a barber. They could be a barber. I'm not sure. Or it could be a razor clam who's a fan of stuff.
Oh yeah, razor clams are a bit like snails as well.
Yeah. Well, now if this is a razor clam and you've just talked about eating snails, they might not want an answer from you. But
well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm sorry, razor clam. Just pretend Sheila has. If you are a razor fan, don't just pretend Sheila didn't say that. So razor fan says, what if our toes were their own people and each toe had their own arms and legs? And then they put in brackets, I think about some weird things in my free time, which I don't think you do, Rez. This is a really valid question as far as I'm concerned. What if toes were their own people and each toe had their own arms and legs? Sheila, what do you think?
I could definitely see that, because I feel like my toes have got their own personalities anyway. Like each toe has got its own job and looks slightly different and smells slightly different. So why wouldn't they be people? Which would be your favourite one, though, if that was the case? Would it be a big one, the little one, the one in the middle?
Oh, that's curious, isn't it? That's curious. I quite like a big toe. I feel like... I don't know. There's something about big toe. I just like it's the big toe. You know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's there to guard the other toes, to block the other toes from any dangerous things coming their way. You know, it's It feels like because I'm curious. You say all your toes have got different jobs. That I know what my big toe's job is. That's like defender of the other toes. I don't really know what all the other ones do.
Well, I don't know if you've heard this, but if you didn't have a little toe, you'd fall over because you'd fall sideways. Your little toe keeps you up. You think your big toe is the important one, but actually it's the little toe.
The little toe holding it together. But then the big toe's there to protect the little toe from anything coming at you from a specific angle, because otherwise the little toe would be in trouble. But then there's like 3 in the middle. I mean, come on, that's excessive.
Well, they're just spare toes, aren't they?
Yeah,
so if your your little toe fell off, then you could cut the other one off and move it along.
Right. Okay.
A little toe.
So it's like a spare tire in a car. You take it out and pop it on. That's really smart, right?
It would look a bit silly though, because it wouldn't be a little toe anymore on the end. It would be like a medium toe.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it'd give you kind of like a bit like crab claws or something, wouldn't it? You'd have like 2 on the end, or like turtles or something.
So if your little toe stops you falling over sideways and then you moved your middle toes to the side and they look like crab claws, would you move sideways instead of moving forwards and backwards? Yes,
I think you would. And you'd eat sand. Okay. Yeah. Just as a side effect.
Well, that's okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. It's all right. Nice, there's a lot of it. You'd
good in sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're called sandwiches.
Or sausages.
That's not why they're called sausages. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, you're right. Salmon. Yeah. Very lovely. Nice gritty texture. Really fills you up quickly. As I said, lots of it about. So little toe's got a job. Big toe's got a job. Middle toes are simply spare toes. All of them.
Just the middle toe.
Just the middle toe is the spare one.
Yeah.
The second one along, is that the one that does the admin for the big toe?
The second one along is the one that helps you learn languages.
Right.
So without the second toe, we wouldn't be able to speak English, for example.
Right. Okay. And then because you got 2 of them, that's why sometimes you can learn another language. That's why you know Spanish, for example.
Exactly. So I've got a Spanish toe and I've got an English toe.
That's great. That's very handy. So that then leaves the one just before the end, the penultimate toe. I don't know what you call that one.
That one it does toe jobs like getting stubbed. And,
sure.
Getting like stuff under the nail. Maybe you paint that one sometimes.
Sure.
So that's kind of like an evil toe, because I mean, I don't really like getting my toe stubbed. It sometimes makes me do that swear word that I'm not going to say it again. Saturn.
Yes.
So that toe I could do without.
Thank you for not saying it. I mean, it is the thing though, where, and I don't know if you found this, and maybe you've been lucky with your socks of choice, but if I ever get a hole in my sock, which is rare, then often it's that toe that's made the hole in the sock, right? But I guess if it wasn't that toe, it would be one of the other toes which are more useful, and then they'd be vulnerable to getting injured, and I need them. So maybe that's why it's like, again, it's a bit like the big toe.
A bit of a protector.
Yeah.
But maybe we shouldn't have doors, because then we wouldn't stub our toes.
Yeah, that's true. Or table legs, or all those things.
But if they were people, if your toes were individual people, what would you call them? What would their names be? Or do they choose their own names because they're their own people?
Yeah, I guess it depends on, because the thing is, I suppose you get your toes when you're born, and so if your parents or your grown-ups are naming you, they might have to name your toes as well.
I think it's pretty harsh, actually, that your parents get to decide what your name is.
Yeah,
like,
mean,
who are they to decide that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, often they do a terrible job. I mean, my name's Tiernan. I mean, what happened there? That's like, well, come on, guys.
Yeah. Maybe then your toes will be Tiernan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They could be Tonen. They could be Tonen, which would be...
Oh, yes.
That would be like a nice variation. But then it feels mean to number them if they all have their own personality. And also, my worry is if they had their own arms and legs, how would I fit them in shoes and socks?
Well, your socks have got holes in anyway, so you'd be okay.
True. Yes, I'd be fine. How would you fit them in shoes and socks?
I would maybe wear sliders.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would give me some space in
Yeah.
that top area, the top toe area.
That's
Or
nice.
maybe wellies sometimes, but like wide ones, like extra wide shoes, just to fit everyone in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know how big their arms and legs would be, and if they're really big, then you're in a lot of trouble. I mean, essentially, it could just carry you around without you having to walk, which would be nice. But if they're really small, you could just sort of go tuck in and then put your sock on. And
They'd be proportional to the toe, wouldn't they? So
yes, yes.
My arms and legs are proportional to me. So
Sure,
if I
sure.
was a little toe, you'd have littler ones, and if you're a big toe, you'd have bigger ones.
Massive ones. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. Yeah, that's interesting. I worry. What if the toe you need, the little toe, and the spare toe, because they're their own people. What if they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm off. And then you fall over.
You've got another foot, so it's okay.
Right.
You can
Okay.
just hop.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. My worry is they'd create some sort of group. They'd all get together. They'd all decide they were off on their own adventures. Next thing you know, you've got no toes. You're falling over all the time.
So are your toes just like hopping off your body?
I mean, to be
They
fair,
are attached.
Yeah, they are attached. Yeah, that's true. But if they've got their own arms and legs, yeah, maybe they could sort of find a way. I don't know. Yeah, I worry about that.
They could, if one of your feet decide to go one way and one of your feet decide to go the other way, you'd become the best person at doing the splits.
That's true.
And then you'd win a medal. So that'd be kind of cool.
That would be really cool, actually. And you could do things like tap dance without really thinking about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and not do marathons.
And not do marathons. I mean, it does sound pretty. When you put it like that, it sounds pretty good to me, actually.
And you'd always have people to chat to. You'd never be lonely.
Yeah, that's nice. You can always have a little chat with your toes.
And one toe would always chat to you in Spanish or French or whatever language your toe is, and it'd be great. Nice. I'd love it.
Yeah, it could be really nice. I mean, have you ever drawn like if you draw a little face on your thumb or whatever, and it looks like a little sort of I feel like that's what it would be like with toes. They've got little faces, little arms and legs. They're essentially your pets. Well, are they your pets? No, then they wouldn't like that. You got to be very careful. Yeah.
I was going to say they'd be like your children, but they're you. So they're not even your children. They're just...
This is part of you. Yeah. It would be weird then that all your other parts didn't have their own arms. It's just your toes. Like, wouldn't your fingers, your elbows, your knees, your ears, wouldn't they all...
I mean, you're getting a bit silly now, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
Can you imagine if your nose had arms and legs?
Yeah.
It'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Because you'd look out from your eyes and you'd look at, instead of looking at like your ghost nose, you'd look at your arms and legs. It'd be a bit strange.
Yeah. No, and I like looking at my ghost nose. It's just one of those things that makes me happy. So yeah, no, that's fair. So I think, but I think on the whole, if it was just toes, it was nothing else. We agree it's a good thing.
I think I'd love it, but it has to just be toes, and I have to be lonely, so that like right. I don't want to have these extra things on my toes if I'm one of those people that hates people, because then it would be a nightmare.
Yeah, you'd never be able to get away from having a conversation. Yeah.
I love people and I love having conversations, so I'd be okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And also, if you think about it, if you in the summer, you've got other people around, everyone's wearing sandals, sliders, they've got their toes out, all the toes are having chats, you're having chats. That's a big old party, and there's only like a couple of people there.
Very big party.
Yeah.
You'd have to factor in like an extra 10 people for every one person. So you'd need to buy a lot of sausages for your barbecue.
Yeah, well, you'd need, because I suppose there's such thing as finger food. You'd need tofu as well. Tofu. Maybe it's tofu. Maybe you'd need tofu.
Tofu and toe cheese.
Yes. Yeah, toe cheese.
I think that's it.
That'd be fine. That's all they need. Wow. Well, Sheila, thank you. That was fascinating. And Razor fan, I hope that's answered your question. I I hope your toes have a lovely time, to be honest. I think they're in for a real treat if they do decide to become sentient and get their own little arms and legs. Sheila, thank you. Thank you for that brilliant answer. Thank you for all your expertise and your wisdom. I do have to ask, I know you've got a lot on not doing marathons, getting upset about the moon not being cheese. What have you got coming up in the next 56, 57 years? Anything much?
Not much, actually. I'm kind of burnt out. I'm done with
right.
these things, so I think I might just not do marathons for 54 years, and then the last 2 years, it wouldn't be too bad to go and visit this fart moon. You know, I was intrigued by the moon when it was cheese, but now it's definitely not cheese. I think I wouldn't mind flying around the moon and going to see what it's like.
Nice, but I really respect that you're going to wait 54 years to do that, and I think that's really sensible. So you're really ready, really prepped.
You know, I like my admin, I like my safeguarding, I like thinking about things in a safe way, and you know, can't do it next week because that would just be silly.
Yes, no, I totally agree. Well, listen, Sheila, thank you for and good luck with all those things. But I do know one thing you have actually done is you have got a book. You've got a book that's out, and you've got lots of books that are out. You've got one book that's out recently called "This Book Will Make You a Scientist," and you have another book that's coming out in September called 10. Is it 10 Extraordinary Ideas That Will Shape the Universe?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's a really catchy title. You know, the book's a bit better than the title. No, I'm joking. 10 extraordinary ideas that shape the universe.
That is very cool. Can I ask what sort of ideas they are? Or is it a spoiler?
It's all physics, which might make you think, oh, but actually it's really, really cool. It's like forces, magnetism, space, particles, and it's kind of like a physics textbook, but not the sort that you'd find in schools. It's beautifully illustrated by Liz Kay, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one in the flesh.
That sounds like a properly fun textbook. That's what all textbooks should be like, right?
Exactly. Definitely.
Cool, brilliant. Well, I will put all the links to that in the podcast blurb, so listeners do check it out. And Sheila, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and enjoy your toe cheese and your yak's milk.
Yum, thanks. Thanks so much to Sheila Kanani for having time in between checking cheese on the moon to answer Razor Fan's question. Razor Fan, I do hope you liked your answers, but if not, why not get all your little toe people to write me a complaint, and then because the letter will smell so cheesy it'll make me feel sick, I'll never actually read it. Sheila has written several amazing kids' books with 10 extraordinary ideas that shaped our universe coming out in September, but you can pre-order it now. Have a look through all of the books on her website at herplaceforspace.com, and I've popped that and a pre-order link for the newest book in the podcast blurb too. And don't forget that if you have a question that you need to have answered, or you want to send in anything else at all, then please get your nearest doddering blunderbuss, grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Or you can leave a reply on any episode on the Spotify Q&A, or a nice review on Apple Podcasts or Castbox. And do check out comedyclub4kids.co.uk for all of our live shows too. Now, listeners, I've just about finished painting all these oranges the colours they should be with really thick, gooey paint, not orange, which means I can finally eat one. Yummy blue painty taste. That's much better. That's how oranges should be. I do hope all my other fruit and veg are okay too. Oh no, look at this. The bananas are yellow, the apples are green, and the potatoes are a sort of slimy red. Oh, actually, no, sorry, they're meant to be like that. It's a special type of slimy red potato. I should only worry if they've gone brown, I think. That's how it works, isn't it? Well, listeners, I guess I've got an awful lot of painting to do to get this place into shape and get me back to my 5 a day. At least it's only 3 p.m? Still? But we've been here for ages. Hang on, now we've gone backwards. Oh, wait, listeners, this could be fun. Hooray! I've travelled back in time! Oops, I've travelled back too far! Hey! You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.
Hey, it's Bex. Sorry, I'm just interrupting to tell you about the latest episode of a podcast I make called Judge Bex. You know that argument you've been having with your brother for the last 3 weeks? The one that nobody's winning? That one needs a judge. Good news, I've got a law degree, a gavel, and absolutely no patience for nonsense. Take a listen. Here's what happened in the latest episode.
This is Judge Bex. The cases and people are all real. Judge Bex's judgments are final.
He's just jumping on me like boing, 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 boing.
Oh my goodness. I mean, love the sound effects. So talk me through this. Are we saying like you might be in bed and he'll run in and open the door and smash it open and jump on you?
Yes. Very much.
The worst time that he's interrupted you by bouncing on you?
I wanted a line at Christmas a couple of years ago, and then he just like ran in like, I'm gonna get you, and then just like jumped on me. And I would like to quit swimming, and my parents, my mum, are saying I cannot. My teacher is really strict, and I think I can do it. And I just don't like the lessons anymore.
Get ready to enter the court of Judge Bex.
If you like that, there's more available right now wherever you're listening to this. Just search Judge Bex.